sources for referencing, placeholders. Jared, can you tell me, suppose I want a placeholder to a famous saying by Mr. Stevenson, Dr. Stevenson, right there. How would I put in a placeholder to something that Dr. Stevenson said in a journal somewhere?
You would go to references.
References.
Insert citation.
Insert citation.
And then you would click that and go to add new placeholder. Or, I mean, if you already had the placeholder used previously, you would just click where it is.
Or you could actually do it all at once with add new source. It actually will put the placeholder in, so you don't have to do it twice. But yeah, you can add placeholder, and then it shows it in there. Say it would be Stevenson. Then you can click OK, and it will show up eventually. You can always come back and click on it and go back to edit, or you can just do right away, add new source right away. Now once I get here, what do I do? If it's from a journal, Katie, you want to give me some help?
Oh, you were asking me?
No, I'm giving someone else a chance here.
Oh, I thought you were.
If it's from a journal now.
If you go under type of source.
Yeah, type of source. There we go. Now, Hannah, what if there's more information I have than what they're asking for here, and I want to put it in there? What do I do if I want to add extra information that I find might be useful, but it's not listed here, like the volume or something?
Show all bibliography fields.
Yeah, this will let me show everything possible to show, and the things that Microsoft thinks are required for MLA style are important. They'll be starred in red. Now remember, this is not the definitive rules about MLA. There may be something different about how your specific instructor wants in your references. So even if MLA says I don't need to show the month and day, or the editor, maybe MLA doesn't say you need to show the editor, but your instructor says show the editor, that is where you can edit that. And remember, it depends on what style you have chosen up here, what shows up here. We discovered that in the other one. I had a different style showing up. It wasn't showing I think the medium, because I didn't have MLA shown for that. So then I would put in the author here, and it will fill that in. I can always come back and edit sources, and I could even just go to manage sources here. This is a handy little menu. I can see all the possible sources that I have ever used in my other papers that I've done if I'm working as the same user. So if you're logged in as student, other students that have referenced things in their papers, their sources are going to be showing up here. And you can click on them and add it to yours. Say I want to do the Fleming Ken, My Years in Africa. I could copy it over to this document, and then I could close all this. And then when I go to the very end and want to add my bibliography down here, and how do I do that, Paul? How do I put in my works cited?
If you go to, you can actually just go to references.
Yep.
And then you can click on, I guess you can click on if you hit the arrow, like the down arrow from insert citation, then you go to add new source. Or you can click on your previous one.
No. I want to put in my works cited, actually show the works cited.
The whole works cited.
The whole works cited.
Crap, I forgot what that is.
That would be over here in bibliography.
Oh, okay.
You think it'd show works cited here, but bibliography
then
is
works cited button.
right. Yeah. And Word is thinking here. I don't know why. There we go. And then works cited. And see, because I added that to my sources, even though I actually did not reference it in my paper, because I added it in my managed sources, it shows up in my works cited. So be careful if you do this, if you do manage sources. I don't know if they mark it off if you have an extra works cited that you never use. I've never seen what I call reverse plagiarism. You're citing something you didn't use. I don't know if that's something you could be expelled for.
And you get, I believe that you can get trouble for it because, like, then if your paper's not citing anything correctly,
Yeah.
then the person is being cited for something that you clearly didn't say.
I could see if I were but being super cautious and thought, yeah, I had referenced that, but then you forgot or had edited it out of your paper, it'll still be there. So I would think if I were a teacher, I'd say, wait a minute, you probably edited it out. I might mark you off a few points, but at least you're safe from plagiarism because that is a mortal error, right? Twice and you're out of the class, I think, in one course here. So be careful about the plagiarism. This is one way to make it easier for you. Another thing we do in this paper, and we'll finish up here, is the footnote. Actually, footnotes and footers. Here we have the insert a footnote. Remember, you have to be in the place where you want the tiny little number to show up. But remember, you can always edit your footer. Editing the footer is done as easy as this. I just double-click down in the footer area, and it puts me in the footer edit. But remember, that's not the same as footnote. Don't confuse. I double-click back up here to get back up to regular text. Footnotes are not the same as footers. You will be asked to edit the footer in a document. Remember how easy that is. Just double-click down there in the footer region, put in some text, and then double-click back in the normal area. All right, enough of that. Let's go back to our finishing up our WD2 project. We are close here. Let me bring up the book on screen where they are at the point where we add a footnote. And it's at the point talking about the sentence here. Oh, wait a minute. That's the actual footnote text. We got to get up to where we want to put the footnote. Built-in fingerprint readers. We're putting that. And do footnotes go between or after the period?
Wait, say that question again?
Where does the footnote number go? Is it right before the period or after the sentence?
Would it be?
I have to go page before here, I guess, to see what they did.
Before, but I don't know.
I would think after.
It looks like they're putting it after the period. They have you type this, and then they say, okay, now put in the footnote. I don't know if there's a special rule, because you often will put footnotes right in the middle of a sentence. But in this particular case, we put it after the period. And so I'm going to go to that location in my document. Here in the text is where they give you the text to go in the footnote.
After which words does it go? I can't.
After include built-in fingerprint readers. That's what the text you're looking at. Let's see if I can enlarge that a little bit for you. I finally figured out how to enlarge it. I just have to enlarge my browser window to enlarge the text there. All right, so back to Word. So where is the fingerprint reader sentence? There we go. It looks like the paragraph, second paragraph, first page, second paragraph, right after built-in fingerprint readers. Then I do the references, insert footnote. Because this is the first note I'm inserting, it puts in a number 1 with a number 1 matching number 1 there. And now the text for my footnote they give in the book is right here. And I will copy paste that text if it lets me. I've been having trouble with copy pasting lately from this reader. Let's see if it'll let me. Down in the footnote, I want this text. See if it lets me paste it. I'm right-clicking. Paste. Oh, it doesn't know anything to paste. My copy-paste is broken with that particular reader, so I have to go back and forth here. Nadir and White state that the fingerprint readers can perform. Let me see if I could shrink this down to the... I'll shrink it down to the bottom, and then shrink my Word window, bring it back up so I can see both. There's the text I want to put in my footnotes. I can't tell you why my keyboard is going so slow. Maybe when I'm recording, the poor computer here gets really slow. And Esther, do you need any help? Are you caught up with where we are?
Yeah, I don't know where we are.
We're just finishing up, continuing on with WD2 project.
Got it.
And at the end of that this paragraph, where it talks about fingerprint readers, I think it's the second paragraph, we're putting in a footnote with this text. And let me zoom in on that text. You have it down here. Hey, let's make it a little bigger here for you. Oh, that's a little too big. Poor computer. I guess I can't go too big or you won't be readable. And remember, footnotes, if I edited the footnote, just double clicking down the footer, I would have completely different text. And let's see what else they have us do then in the document. After putting in that footnote, I'll let that be visible for you. Then they want us to what? Here. Put in the footnote. We've already done, well, have you got that other citation done? We did another citation.
Yeah, there's the Allen Smith. We haven't actually turned it into an actual citation.
Right. So let's get that one working here. So we're going to add a new placeholder underneath where does that new placeholder? Oh, we're actually adding the placeholder in the footnote, aren't we? So we're actually putting a citation in the footnotes because we haven't finished our footnote yet. So we're putting a citation, just a placeholder first, and putting in nadir for the placeholder. There's our placeholder in the footnote, and then we'll come back to that and edit it later. So what they're going to do is they're going to take a little break now and modify our footnote text style after we've got that placeholder. Then we'll come back and actually add the source information for nadir. So they then talk a little bit about how you can, just like we modified our paragraph style. Remember when we started? Our paragraph style we set for two lines. We're going to come in here and modify our format of the footnote. So from now on, any footnote I enter will be in the proper style. And the way to do that is I right-click while I'm in the footnote and go to the Style pop-up menu, or what they call the quick menu. So anywhere my cursor is in this footnote, I just right-click, and then the little Style menu pops up. Okay, so I'm going to right-click Style while I'm in the footnote, and now I'm going to modify the style of this footnote. And this is where I'm going to modify lots of things, so let's see what they want me to modify by going back to this text and going to the next page here. In my footnote style, I'm going to modify the text to be 12 point. So I'm modifying the text of my footnote to be 12 point. Right there. And I'm going to double space to change my line spacing here. That's not it. Where's my double space? This guy right here. Or is that the double space? I can't tell.
The middle one, 1.5, so I'm assuming it's the whole.
I was hoping when I hovered over it, it would tell me, but it doesn't give me a indication. But yeah, that makes sense. And then what else they want me to do? oh, the first line indent we want to modify. And see down here, now I want to modify more, so I have to click this button to do more modification to this paragraph. So far I've made it 12 point, double spaced, but now I want to do more. Down in the paragraph, I want to change the first line indent to what number? Oh, I guess we just want first line indent.
So just special. Just like it's 0.5. 0.5.
Yeah. There it is. 0.5, there it is. So indentation, first line indent. Oh, it looks by default it already has 0.5 in there. I was waiting for them to tell us we have to type 0.5. So a lot of things we did here. We told it to change the font, double space, and now go down into a sub menu to change the first line indent. A lot of stuff we did there. And now when I click OK and apply, now this footnote takes that style, and from now on all footnotes will have this style because I did a modify, not a, oh, let's just make this particular paragraph double spaced. So that the idea is now from now on our footnotes will all have the double spaced. And if you don't have a double spaced paragraph, you're gonna have to go back and do that. I'll come over and help you there because your paragraphs there aren't double spaced. All right, let's go ahead a page then. Now that our footnote looks like that, and we've applied that new style to the footnote style, we may change it to the style instead of changing that single paragraph. Now we can go back and edit the source for Nadir and put in this information. So I'm going to shrink this down as I come back now and modify back in the footnotes. Now I can click on that placeholder once and then click again on the edit source. And this is where then I put in Nadir.
Is it a journal article? What is it?
Yeah, what is it? Let's see here. It's a book.
Okay.
And this one shows you that I can actually edit my authors in a special little box over here. I could have just typed them here, put semicolons in between, but they give you a little extra help. If you have multiple authors of the book, they give you this little help page. And last name of the first author is Nadir. And then Aisha with middle name Sati. I click Add as one of the authors, and now I'm going to go add another author, White Jonathan Richard. And click Add there. This is all just to make it easier to add multiple authors in the references. But when I click OK, basically it shows me that I could have just typed last name, comma, first name, middle name, separating by a semicolon, it would have done the same thing, and putting a finishing semicolon. So this is just a little helper to make sure you put in your author information in the right format, and I would bet you it changes depending on what exact style I've chosen before I got here. So once I add them in the special little helper dialog, then I can go on. And they show up there. here's the information I'm going to put in the actual author. Man, that is tiny to read, isn't it?
On the left, they have it too. I'll look at the left side here.
So I'll leave these up here. Biometric security. See if I can shrink this. This is the information I'm putting there. The book title is Biometric Security. The year is 2014. Chicago is the city. Windy City Press is the publisher, and it's a print medium. And let's see if that's all that they want from there. Oh, they want more information. They want to put the pages 62 to 63. Oh, that's in the citation, so I guess we're good. We don't have to modify the source anymore. So I click OK. And then in the citation, edit citation this time. Now I add the pages to the citation. Let me show you that again. I've edited the source. Now back to the citation. I can display specific pages there in the citation. 62 to 63. And I do want to show pages. Oh, I want to suppress, to place a check mark in it, author checkbox. So I'm going to suppress the author and only leave the name. Let's see what that does. Now that gives me just the name of the book. Oh, let me go back to that. Guess I didn't put all the... I also want to suppress the title. Now I just get pages 62 to 63. So what this is doing is, I can decide in my citation what's being shown there when I edit citation. The check marks suppress that information from being shown. So if you're seeing more than 62-63, edit citation, make sure you're suppressing display of the author and title. You can always go back to your citations anytime because that's part of the little settings of that citation. Now we're going to work with some footnotes. They talk a little bit about footnotes. I can convert footnotes. I think the rest of the text is already in there for you if you've done it. And I should see about 275 words. Let's see what I have for mine. I have 325 words, I think because I've already added that works cited as I was explaining that to you.
Should we add works cited now?
We're getting ready to add it officially here. Let's see, we're counting the words. It shows you, they just demonstrate how you can show a variety of things in the word count. To see that, how did we get there? The word count indicator, let's see if I can do that. Here. Just clicking on the word count shows you all your statistics about your document. If I turn off showing footnotes, my number drops down to 296. So a useful thing when you're doing documents, I believe, well, I haven't paid attention. I think Google Docs will also show you word count, but I haven't paid attention much to that. So if you're really, if you're given a specific word count, that's a handy little thing for you. And then I can go on. We've already got automatic page breaks happening. There's the extra words that I already had in there because I gave you all the text. And Alan Smith comes after hairstyle. So let's go to the new hairstyles and get our Alan Smith source. We're going to insert a citation there. So let's see if I can find hairstyles. I already have it as a parentheses, but I want to change that into an actual working citation. So I'm just going to replace that by selecting it all and then do insert citation, add new placeholder, Alan Smith. So you're replacing what you had in paragraphs with an actual real placeholder or a more in-depth built into Microsoft placeholder. Now when I click on it, I can now edit its source. And then a period also comes after it. So I've edited the source. Now I've added the placeholder. They show how you can turn on and off white space. Let me show how easy that is done. If I'm viewing a multiple page document, I can just double click on the space to remove that extra little space there. I don't know why I really care to remove it. I usually leave it there. Just double clicking. Double click takes it away. Notice how it also throws away the footnotes and header, footer and header. Double clicking again brings back so I can see the full page of text. They demonstrate how that white space is such a wonderful thing. Now we come back to and edit the Alan Smith source. So there's the information for the Alan Smith source. Let's have that showing while I edit it. So I'll bring that word up here. Alan Smith now, I click on it, down arrow, edit source, and let's make sure we know what kind it is. It is a website. And websites are a little tricky. Some teachers around here do not like websites as sources. For a while there, they weren't allowing them at all. There it is, website. And now I put in my information. Problem with many websites is they do not tell you much about the time or author, and especially when you're looking up information about technology. If it's a few years old, it's almost useless web page. And many pages don't tell you when it was written. You get a clue after a while. They start talking about how great Windows 98 is. Then you know you're reading old technology. Production company, where's my production company?
Yeah, show all.
Oh, I gotta do the show all. There it is. Year accessed is 2014.
Who's the production company?
Course Technology. And make sure you're using year accessed, not the actual year. We don't know yet the year written. Day accessed is 16, and month accessed is September. I don't know where they decide to use abbreviations rather than the full spelling. If that's defined in MLA or something. I would be using the full month if I were doing it the way I would want. I don't like abbreviations that much. And web is the medium, yep. You'd think that would be obvious since it's a web page reference, but we put that in there anyway. Where's the medium? There it is. Well,
It's down.
there we go. And it's actually required, even though I told it it's a website. What other medium could a website be? Seems kind of silly to me. Let's see. I would be putting in the URL if I were doing this, because I'd want to be able someone to check whether that link is still good. Looks like we've got everything in there, so then I click OK. So all this in my reference, a lot of things in there for that web page. And then once I click OK, I can't even tell whether it's done until I actually do my works cited. I can't even tell whether that information is there. So now that we've got that in there, we've got the extra text already done for you. Saving the document, as we should be doing regularly. They want a manual page break because they want to force the works cited to be on the very last page, a separate page. They call it a hard page break. So I'm going to go down and delete the one that I had in there because I'm going to get rid of a few sources. I want to, let's see if I can just select all that. Can I just delete it? Select through it, delete. There. Before I insert my works cited, I'm going to insert a page break. And that is done over here on, I think, insert. Insert is taking a while to come up. There it is, and where's my page break? Or is it a layout? There it is. Underneath the pages section, there's my page break. And this is a good time to turn on formatting characters, and I can confirm that there's my page break. So when I'm checking your assignment, one of the first things I do for this one is I turn on formatting so I can tell you put a page break in there. You didn't just hit enter 1,000 times, and you will find some people like to do that, and it messes up your paper later on. It looks okay at first, but it makes it a pain for someone to, if they change a paragraph, suddenly the page break went away. So if you do want a page break, this is really good to know. Remember, it's insert, pages, page break. Okay, now I'll go down to that second page, and now I'm going to insert my works cited. They do it a little different. I would have just gone bibliography cited. Uh-oh, we got to play with the style again. We're going to center, and then we're going to apply a style to the paragraph, and then put in works cited. We're going to type in works cited manually. So I don't know why they do it manually, because it's there in the built-in insert paragraph, but let's go ahead and do what they want. Centering that line, typing in works cited, and then Control L to left align the next line after it, and then we're going to do the references, insert bibliography without the built-in works cited title. I just do insert bibliography. Oh, but I don't want to do that yet because I got a problem. I want to delete some of my extra sources I added just for fun. How do I get rid of it? Was it not going to let me get rid of it? Uh-oh. I added this. There we go. I can delete that one. Working with metal, I don't need that one. That was just an example. It's not letting me delete the Stevenson one. Maybe because I didn't complete it? Huh. So that one's stuck in there. And let me see if I can edit it. Let's do Stevenson. There, now let's see if I can get it out. No, it's not letting me delete it. I guess I have to delete the actual entry. That's kind of a pain. Well, I'll just have that extra Stevenson in there because I left the placeholder in there. I suppose if I go remove the placeholder, it will remove it. Now I'm ready to insert the bibliography, and there it is, and it's what's supposed to be MLA style. I think they want us to modify the style of this title too. Let me go back to that. They want it to look a little better. So they insert the bibliography. Oh, I guess the works cited is just plain text. I would think that might be a little better.
But it says works cited on mine, like it says it twice.
Oh, that's because you inserted works cited instead of bibliography.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think we've got this done. Let me just check if they have want us to do anything more. They talk about revising things. Oh, and modifying a source. Looks like the Rossi source had a problem. Let's check that the Rossi source is correct. Let's go back to Manage Sources and edit the Rossi one. There we go. We don't want the word understanding in there. We're going to get rid of understanding. How to use fingerprint readers. We deleted that extra word and then clicked OK. And close. And let's see. I don't think this will automatically update until I come back to here. And, oh, is it not going to? I thought it would update it. Where is the... Do I have to re-enter that? Let's see what they tell me. Once I've edited it.
Update field.
There we go, update field. I'm so used, I like the other one better. It actually has the whole thing in a block, and at the top of it, it has update my entire table. I like that way
Is that
better.
when I inserted the bibliography?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I delete that little bibliography? Is that weird too?
Oh, did you do that? Here's, I bet you did this one instead of this one. This is the one they
there's an
wanted.
actual rule too. Okay.
I actually like these better because it puts the whole thing in a nice block that you can update.
Okay.
This I have to manually right click update that particular field.
Okay. And then what do we do for the updating field?
We change it
Or
from
field?
oh, I got a spelling error in there. They change it from understanding from understanding how to use fingerprint readers to how to use fingerprint readers. I notice I have a spelling error there, and I did not get a red line underneath there, so it does not do spell checking in your works cited. I better go fix that one. That was Alan Smith. Click on that, edit, and fix my spelling there. So a little warning there. Watch out for spelling errors in your works cited. It will not catch them. Now let's right click update field. There, it fixed my spelling error. I believe with that we are done with WD2. I'm just gonna verify we've updated some fields. There's the right click update field instructions. I can go to specific pages. With a short paper like this, having those navigation bars, the navigation window is not that exciting. But for a long paper, very useful. Copying and pasting.
Manage sources.
Oh, they do have us modify a little bit. Bio and pay. I actually think you have that fix already in there. Since I gave you the text, that fixed is in there. Finding text, Control F for finding texts in a large paper. Finding a particular word. I think all kind of basic stuff. Find and replace. We'll work on that next time. We'll remind you of that. Very, very useful for large papers if you realize you spelled something wrong all over the place. Find and replace, very handy. But since we're towards the end of class here, we will stop there, review that next time. Check your assignment schedule for anything due. I don't remember.
I think the next quiz is due Friday, I
The
think.
WD2 e-quiz.
So when do we have to upload this document to the homework?
You can, well, I think we're done with it. Well, no, we'll wait till next time because we're going to do a couple little spelling checks. Unless, if you want to work through and do all the, if you get all the find and replace done. Otherwise, we'll just do that quick next time.
Cross-reference it.
Yeah.
With your source
I'm not seeing any specific thing due today, but the e-quiz and the WD2 will be turning in Friday. The plan is on Friday to work on that WD136-2 kind of on your own project. All right, have a great day. We will finish the recording.